Game last night, Packers and Eagles, has implications for our Lions. We're talking about it today. Let's go. If you're a fan of the Lions, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That's what we do here, is talk Detroit Lions, news and rumors. And in this video, we're talking about the Packers as implications for the Lions. So last night, Packers down in Brazil with the Philadelphia Eagles game. The Philadelphia Eagles won. Packers lost this game. Significant injury to Jordan Love. We don't know the severity. We'll probably find out in the next 24, 48 hours. First off, let's get into this game. The field was terrible in Brazil. The NFL made a terrible decision by having a game down there on a soccer field. Clearly, it was a disaster, in my opinion. It was really difficult for me to watch this game. First off, the commentary was bad. The play was bad due to the field. It was just not a good look for the NFL. I didn't enjoy the game. I didn't like it. I thought it was too many mistakes due to the field. And also with the referees. This is regardless of the teams. My goodness, with these penalties. I know some of the teams were doing penalties, but they're ruining the game here. And then the kickoff was butt cheeks again. So the NFL made a decision by switching this special teams, thought they'd get more returns. They're not. The new rule sucks. The flags suck. The field sucked. The game last night was under the level of the National Football League. It really is. Reminded me of the XFL when Vince McMahon first came out in the 2000s. That's what it reminded me of. Beneath the league, that type of game. Just because you want international games doesn't mean that you got to sacrifice quality. That was not good. And same with, you're sacrificing this quality just to get more quantity. Don't like that. I prefer high quality type of environment, and that was not there. Okay, so that sucks. So I'm sure everyone's going to have their opinions on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Packers lost. We'll get into Jordan Love next, is the most important thing. I've been hearing all offseason how the Packers are the champs. I've seen the Locked On Packers do the NFC North roundtable, that they're an elite offense and all. Jordan Love was missing wide open receivers. 50%, I think it was less than 50% completion percentage. Drops. Their defense looked like Swiss cheese. Pun intended. We had the anonymous general manager a couple days ago, who I do believe is the Packers general manager because he's been dogging the Lions since we've got Brad Holmes. Talk about how the Lions are not that good. We're second to third down, blah, 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 blah. Regardless of the injury, this is what you get, general manager of the Packers. This is what you get, is you've been talking. And this is the result you get. Talk is cheap. You got to do it on the field. I get that the Packers, they look good the last 8 games of the year. They did, and I think that they're a good team. Do I think that they're an elite team? No, I don't. Never thought that. Thought they're a good team. And you got Pete Prisco, CBS Sports HQ. You got all these people just instantly jump on the Packers bandwagon because it's not the Lions. And the hype. You have to play the game first. In last year, the Packers, they had 17 games. Half of the games, they didn't play well. There's inconsistencies there. And that's what we've talked about on my channel. Look, I think they're a good team, but they're definitely inconsistent. I don't think that they're a 12, 13 win number 1 seed team. Last year, we seen a lot with Green Bay that they would have really good games like they did with the Dallas Cowboys game, and then they'd have really bad games where they did like it was when they faced the Lions the first time in Lambeau. They're inconsistent. and there's going to be inconsistencies. So if you wanted to crown him, you crowned him. Now you kind of look like Boo-Boo the Fool a little bit. We got to relax on some of these takes. I say the Lions would win the NFC North is they're the most consistent team. They're consistent last year. They're consistent the year before that. They're just really consistent. They're all around. All the part of this team is good. It's really good. It was not blowing smoke to say that they can win 11, 12 wins, and then they're going to win the division. They're a very consistent team. Chicago, I think they're an up-and-coming team. I think they'll be good this year. I'm not saying they're going to be elite, but I could see them getting 8, 9 wins, right? They're better than they were last year, but the reason I didn't crown them is you had a rookie quarterback, and there were some inconsistencies. They got to get consistent. Lions were the most consistent team last year in the NFC North. They haven't did a whole lot to change that in regard to talent on the team, besides adding talent in the loss of Josh Reynolds. Other than that, same head coach, same coordinators, generally the same roster with another rookie class, add to it with a couple good free agents. So they went in the right direction. So, I don't have a whole lot of sadness for the Packers organization right now because of the general manager, talking the garbage. But definitely sucks for Jordan Love here because that's what we're going to get into right now. We don't know the injury to this guy. We heard ACL, MCL. We've heard high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain. We don't know. But hopefully it's nothing serious because that's not what you want to see. These guys work pretty hard to get to where they're at. You want to see an injury, pretty much end their season. And you want to beat the team right? You want to beat the team, not beat their bad depth chart right at quarterback. So, we'll see. It looked like it's going to be at least a couple weeks, that's for sure. I know there's pop in there with the knee area, but I'm not a doctor, and I'm not going to speculate, so we'll just go until we know information. But they have a lot more issues than just quarterback on that team, and we've seen it. And yes, it's week 1, and it wasn't a bad field, but when you're throwing literally the ball was yards off from some of the receivers. It was bad. It kind of looked like Nate Sudfeld a little bit throwing the ball out there. Not with his legs, but with the accuracy. There were some accuracy issues. The defense was suspect. If Jordan Love is out for some time, if he is done for the year, that team is probably going to finish third or fourth in the division because their backup situation is not good. Maybe they go get a Ryan Tannehill, but either way, it's not good. Their run blocking was atrocious. Their offensive line was getting, I felt like, manhandled a little bit. So they got problems there, significant problems. This is how the NFL works. Sometimes, you get the bad luck and your top player goes down. And that's not a good thing, right? That's something that we all fear. That's why we invested in a Hendon Hooker to, if we do have a significant injury to a Jared Goff, that we have somebody that can hold the fort down. That's the whole point of having a backup quarterback. We've talked about it. And now, look at the Packers. They got Malik Willis as their backup quarterback. If Jordan Love's down for some time, they could be a 5-win football team. Like, if he's done for the year, they could be a 5-win football team. That's how bad it could be. So, sucks for Jordan Love. The cool Packers fans, sucks for you guys. The cocky Packer fans, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I get a lot of people that comment on here that Lions are terrible. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. And this is my general reaction to it. Okay, I guess we'll see on Sundays, right? we'll see on game day. It doesn't really matter what you do in the offseason, right? It's what you do on the field. Doesn't matter about the hype of the legacy media, even good hype, even for the Lions. Like, we got a lot of hype. It doesn't matter about that. You got to do it on the field. I 100% do not believe anything that the media says means that's going to be reality. And a lot of these guys are just assuming that Jordan Love is the elite quarterback and all this and that over a 17-game stretch, which is way too much. I said he's a good quarterback, but do I think he's Aaron Rodgers or do I think he is Brett Favre? Absolutely not. No way, Jose. I think he's a good quarterback, but not that level. So Packers look like they're in trouble already. They look like I don't know how they win if they don't have Jordan Love. That's how bad their backup quarterback situation is. It's bad. It was him and then nobody else. We'll see. I mean, look, if Malik Willis is the guy, he's going to have an opportunity to lead that offense. We get to see a little bit more, but he just got there a week ago. So you're expecting a lot. It's a bad way to start the season for the Packers. But for the rest of the NFC North, it's if Jordan Love's gone for the year, that could be 2 wins for the Lions. That could be 2 wins for the Bears. That could be a couple wins even for the Vikings. So that's huge news. So we'll monitor this and see. It definitely changed the trajectory of their season, and it changed the trajectory of the NFC itself. It does a little bit. So we shall see. But I wish him a full recovery, and don't want to see this guy injured or anybody injured, man. I don't really want to see that. I got no hate for these players personally, and that's a personal issue. So get well. Hopefully all is good. Lions in the NFC North continue to be winners, even when they don't play, because the Packers did lose the game. With that said, folks, adios.